Perfect. We'll just keep letting people in as they join. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here with us today. We welcome you to the final session of the BIC Africa Acceleration Program for Female Entrepreneurs for 2023. Today, we have a lot more people in the room than typically. We have some of our partners with us. We, of course, have the women entrepreneurs. We have some representatives from the different country projects that we'll be hearing from later. We have a lot of our mentors who have joined us today because it's our last session and everyone really wants to make the most of this time that we have together to learn about the journeys that you've been on, to learn about the things that you've taken away, and also for us to celebrate you collectively and the journey that you've been on over these past few months. So welcome back. Oops, hold on. This is my first time driving and it's not going so well. 1 second. Okay, so our agenda for today is different to usual. It's not going to be just about content. So we're going to start with a brief welcome, which we're doing right now. We're then going to spend a few minutes walking through the program, especially for the benefit of those who are joining us as guests today, just so that they can get an understanding of where we've come from, what we've been through, and where we are today. We then want to spend some time celebrating each of the women that have been part of the program this year. So we'll be sharing information about each of you that have given us some things to share. We have pictures, we have details about your business. So we'll be doing a little bit of a celebration for that. Then we're going to do quite a bit of a chunky session on reflection, and I'll be guiding you through that today. During this reflection session, number one, all of the questions will be simultaneously translated into French. So of course you can participate and join in, but we are asking the ladies of the program to really get involved in this process, in this reflection process. You'll be asked to share your opinions, your views, your thoughts, your feelings in the chat as we go along during that process. We're then also going to invite our mentors to join us and share some of their reflections as well. They can share what's gone well in the program, what they think could be additional improvements that we can make, and just to share a little bit about the experience that they've had in supporting the women during the course of these last few months. Then I'm going to hand over to Christina and we're going to, oh no, sorry, I'm not handing over to her yet. Then we're going to look forward. So now that the program is coming to an end, what does that mean for you as women in business, as entrepreneurs? What are the things that you're still looking to achieve? And I really want you to, again, participate in that session so that you get the most of it and really set some key goals that you want to achieve before the end of the year. So don't worry about it now, but I'm just giving you a heads up about what's to come. That time that you have with me is really a time for us to be very interactive, very reflective, and to get as much out of the last few hours that we have together. And then finally, I'm going to hand over to Christina to the looking forward session. In this session, we're going to be talking about what is beyond BIC Africa in this female entrepreneurship program. What comes next? We'll be hearing from some of the country projects. You'll be hearing about some upcoming things that are happening in different areas. And it's a last opportunity to, have that bit of connection before we say farewell. Kiara is very sad. I think she's cried already this morning because it's the last day that we're together, but we're not finished yet. We still have a couple of hours to get through. All right, so this is our agenda for today. But first, it has been an absolutely amazing journey. Kiara, myself, and Christina are all super proud of all the steps that you've taken, the decisions that you've made, the changes that you've made, the confidence that you've built, and we have been really honored to share that with you. So just a very heartfelt thank you from the three of us for making this program as great as it has been for the third year running. And, we're excited to be here again for one last time with you today. All right, so welcome back to the final session. As we mentioned before, this is the BIC Africa Acceleration Program for Female Entrepreneurs 2023. And what a journey we have been on. So this is a little bit of our schedule, what it's looked like over the past few months. But to go into a bit more detail, I'd like to just run through this slide specifically for those of us who are guests today. So these women have been through a tremendous program since the 16th of May, which is now 4 months ago. Wow, time really goes quickly. So we kicked off with a networking session for our first session, where we also had an opportunity to invite past participants from the program to speak to the women in business. It was really an opportunity for everyone to get to know each other a little bit and for us to kick off what is now the third cohort of the BIC Africa acceleration program. The women then had several different training modules. So first they went through a mission-driven businesses and SDGs. All of the women that are here have some SDG that they're tackling with their business, whether it be unemployment or access to clean water or, you know, renewables. All of them are tackling something. So we really dug into what does it mean to have an SDG driven business and a mission driven business, and how do we make sure we stay true to whatever it is that looks like for us. They then went on to their second training session, which was around team management and partnership development. Relationships are everything when it comes to business, both internally and externally. So during this session, the women had an opportunity to learn more about how to manage their teams and also how to manage external partners. We then embarked on our first coaching session, which was around the topic of leadership. Now, as a woman in business, or as anyone in business, we all have to have leadership skills that we can, that we can stand into. And not all of us have those to start with. We might just come from something that's a great idea and not know how to turn that into something. So this coaching session was really an opportunity to teach the women more about what it meant to be a strong leader and to help them understand how they can improve their leadership skills so that they get better results within their organization and from the people that they're working with. We then turned over to our third training session, which was around unique value proposition and marketing strategy. During this session, the women were able to understand what makes them stand apart from their competition. The interesting thing that happened during this session is that some of our women learned that their businesses are quite similar to other women in the group. So there were opportunities as for synergy rather than competition. There's always room in the market for our businesses. We don't have to feel like there's not enough customers, because it's not true. But it's about what makes us stand out from our competition so that some customers will come to us and maybe some customers go to someone else. And then marketing, how do we reach them? We then went into training number 4, which was really looking at how viable their business model is. So this was rethinking their business model for scalability. Now, not all of the women that are with us want to scale their businesses to be humongous international or multinational corporations, and that's absolutely okay. However, businesses still need to be sustainable. So during this session, we were able to look into what is it that makes a business sustainable, whether they want to scale exponentially or even just grow to a number that feels comfortable to them. We then had our second coaching session, which was around basic accounting and financial literacy. Money matters so much in business, and unfortunately, money comes with so many other hangups. We have attitudes towards money, we have perceptions about money, and these things come from when we're even very young and how our parents dealt with money. So during this session that we had, the women were really able to get a better grasp about some of the key financial terms that they need to understand in business so that they can build their confidence in the space and not let money be a source of frustration or anxiety or fear. We then went into our 5th coaching session, which was around financial management and investment readiness. So this was a really great lead on from the coaching session that happened the week prior, because it then gave the women an opportunity to look more into their finances and understand what the numbers really mean. We then had a great coaching session on storytelling marketing with Eileen. Here, all of the women had an opportunity to share their very inspiring stories, how they got into business, what their businesses are doing, and how they can communicate that story to others in order to make an impact. This was one of, I think, safe to say, like one of our most powerful sessions, just because of the beauty of hearing everyone's voice. All of the women got off of the chat and jumped onto the screen, turned on their videos, used their voice to share their stories, and it was a really powerful experience for everyone. We then had our final training session, which was around product development and market fit. So how do you continue to develop your products in line with what your customers are looking for? So this really was looking at a customer-centric point of view for product development, and really understanding what is it that your clients need in order to make better decisions in your business about what comes next. And then finally, last week, we had our final coaching session, which was around pitching and public speaking. A lot of the women that are here in the group with us are looking for investment in the future. So, whether that's from a bank or an angel or a VC or further afield, they have to be confident in talking about their businesses. So during the session, we were able to give them some really strong tips about how to tell their story in an engaging way, in a pitch type of format, and how to tailor that depending on, one, the audience that they are addressing, and two, the amount of time that they have. Because obviously, if you only have 3 minutes versus 10 minutes, you have to condense that information and be selective about what you're putting through. And then finally, we have today our final networking session. So as I mentioned, this is an opportunity for us all to come together one last time, but also with some people from the commission, with some people representing the country projects, with our entrepreneurs, and also with our mentors. So we're super excited that you're all here to join us today. So that's a bit of an overview of what we've been doing over the last 4 months. We've come really, really far, as you can see, that we covered a lot of content. These women were in there, they were active, they were participating, they were learning, they were challenging themselves, they were questioning themselves. And as a result, they've been able to grow themselves and their businesses. Now, the BIC Africa Women Entrepreneurs is a growing community. This is now our 3rd cohort running this acceleration program. We started 2 years ago. And as you can see from this slide, the main thing that's changed is the number of participants, the number of applicants and the number of countries that they're coming from. So during our first year, we had 60 applicants and we had 20 participants, which came from 4 countries. We then moved into our second year where we had 65 applicants and 21 participants, also from 4 countries. But this year we expanded exponentially. So this year we had 133 applicants, so more than double the number that we've seen in previous years. And we've had 20 participants from 11 different countries. Now, this has made us be able to reach even more women in business, to get exposure in different countries. And hopefully when we're looking in years 4 and year 5, we even see these numbers grow even further. So we're excited now to tell you a little bit more about the 20 women that have joined us this year for the 3rd cohort of the acceleration program for women entrepreneurs. So let's celebrate. I'm gonna now, oops, I went backwards. Okay. So what I'd now like to do is just share a little bit of information about all of the women that have been part of this particular cohort. I'm only going to do first names because I don't want to really ruin surnames, and some of you have some complicated surnames, so please forgive me in advance for that. So first we have Afomia, who comes from Ethiopia. Afomia is the co-founder of Agagil Eco Packaging Company, which is a sustainable and eco-friendly packaging business. Then we have Ayan from Somalia, who is the CEO and founder of Astansan, which is a creative digital services. So they provide digital services like marketing. And Ayan shares a quote with us. So Ayan shares, BIC Africa Acceleration Program for Female Entrepreneurs has been a life changer. I've learned so much and gained so much confidence through the program. I'm now better equipped to take my business to the next level. I am so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much for that, Ayan. We then have Marie Zoe Alada from Madagascar. She's the founder of Charbon Minsijo, which is a waste to energy business. So they produce alternative cooking briquettes using the recycling of green waste to create that charcoal briquette. We then have Salma Adam, who comes from Nigeria. She's a junior associate at the Clean Technology Hub, which is a clean energy and climate smart innovation. So they have they support sustainable entrepreneurship in clean energy and climate smart sector. And they have this smart backpack that allows you to do solar recharging on the go. We then have Anazra Mohammed, who's the founder of Comoros Moringa, based on the islands of Comoros. It's a clean energy and climate smart innovation. Oops, we didn't update the slide, sorry. So Comoros Moringa is the first moringa production, processing, and selling company in Comoros that offers people a wide range of products from food supplements to cosmetics, all completely natural and organic certified. Nazra also shares a quote with us. She says, participating in the BIC Africa Acceleration Program was transformative. It empowered our team, enhanced our business strategies, and accelerated our growth. Grateful for the exciting results achieved. We then have Fardoza, who is the founder of Dao's Gift House based in Somalia, which is also offering creative packaging and gifting materials for special occasions. She offers personalized gifts and also printing services. Fardoza shares her quote, I learned a lot of knowledge, including how to manage my business, how to market my business, how to prepare my business plan, etc. We then have Joyce Mwangi from Kenya, who is the co-founder of Drip Purified Water. Drip Purified Water is high quality, refreshing, and pure drinking water that has been treated using their advanced filtration and purification process. Joyce shares Drip Purified Water gained valuable knowledge and skills related to business development, entrepreneurship, leadership, and sustainability, as well as enhancing our ability to effectively manage and grow our business. Also, an access to amazing and remarkable mentors, especially Hina. And Hina's here with us today. Oh, and that's one thing actually I didn't mention in our overview of the program. These women have had access to amazing mentors during the entire course of the program. Women who have dedicated their time and their energy to supporting these women outside of the modules that you saw in that time. So they had access to mentors where they could go and they could ask for one-to-one feedback on different modules of the program or any other challenges that they were facing. So we'll be celebrating our mentors in a bit more detail later on today. Okay, next up we have Marlene. So Marlene comes from Angola. She is the founder and CEO of Food Care LDA, which is a food processing and food safety organization. They have several products that sell both nationally and internationally, and they have FDA certification and ongoing HACCP certification. Marlene shares, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Thank you, BIC Africa, for such opportunity. It has been mindset changing journey. I hope more African business owners can be impacted by the RICH program. Thank you, Marlene. We then have Asna, who also comes from Comoros. She's the director of AMS Sarlu, which is also a food processing company. They specialize in the production, transformation, and sale of local agricultural products, which includes potato, onions, maize, ginger, and also they make fruit juices. Asna shares with us creation of a clear vision for the future of the business and the steps to achieve it in order to enhance my success in the business world. That's what she took from the program this year. We then have Aiden, for the founder and CEO of Invicta, which is a digital platform which provides support to refugees and internally displaced people and helps them find opportunities for remote work, skill development, mental health counseling, digital education, and entrepreneurship. Aiden comes from Ethiopia, and she shares, throughout the program, I gained a deeper understanding of my target audience, allowing me to refine my business model and better serve my customers. We then have Chantal from Rwanda, who is the project coordinator at Nzora Agrotourism, which provides sustainable farming and agriculture ecotourism. They have agrotourism, they also have aquaponics, and they integrate those things to grow vegetables and fish while also promoting ecotourism by bringing tourists to their locations and showing them how to provide food in such manner. Chantal comes to us from Rwanda. We then have Hamdi from Somaliland. She's the founder and managing director of Gino Fashion and Branding, which is a fashion and branding company. They promote their business and make it popular amongst the community. We then have Inez, who comes from Angola, who is the founder of Kaka Mariscos, which is seafood and sustainable fishing. So they're focused on selling sustainably fished seafood on a large scale. We then have Aditha from Madagascar. She's the founder of Okia, which is also an agribusiness. So they promote sustainable agriculture by proposing a new solution of fertilizer from locally available raw materials. We then have Mercy from Zambia. Mercy is the founder of Queen of Chitenge Fashion Limited, which is a manufacturing and design company for fashion clothing, leather products, workwear, and PPE solutions. Mercy comes to us from Zambia, and she also shares a quote that says, "The knowledge and skills imparted during the program played a pivotal role in equipping me to effectively implement the company's KPIs, resulting in significant improvements in sales performance and market reach." Amazing results, Mercy. We then have Sandra, who comes to us from Malawi. Sandra is the owner and managing director of SA&M Drugstore, who it's a socially responsible drugstore that sells retail products. So they have essential medicines, they provide health education, and they're really seeking to make a positive impact on the community through actions such as sourcing from locally owned businesses rather than big international farmers. Her quote to us today is, "The BIC Africa Acceleration Program empowered me to explore my company's unique DNA, offered clarity on operations, and provided valuable insights for expansion, visibility, finance, and development implementation tactics while connecting me with inspiring women entrepreneurs from diverse corners of the globe. It was a truly motivating experience, and I am eager to harness these global connections towards future success." Thank you, Sandra. That's beautiful. We then have Abidate from Komoro. She is the founder of Shawiri, which is they turn biodegradable waste into biogas and into biofertilizer, providing both waste management and an alternative source of fertilizer for agri-production. Abidate shares, "With BIC Africa, I gained more experience, confidence, and entrepreneurial awareness, in particular, thanks to my mentor, Agnes. And this is the first time in 4 years of entrepreneurship." Beautiful. Great to hear that everything has improved, Abidate, and confidence especially. We then have Josephine from Madagascar. She is the founding and managing director of Soaene, which is a company that produces a diversity of tropical fruits from Madagascar and has the aim to impact the local community by assuring healthy consumption and being environmentally responsible, and also supporting local suppliers. So she provides fruit and vegetable processing using locally grown fruits and vegetables. Her quote to us is, "During these few months, I've acquired a lot of knowledge that has helped me and will help me to develop my Soaene company. I would therefore like to thank the entire BIC Africa team for having placed their trust in Soaene and for choosing us as one of the participants. The sessions, discussions, and sharing that I have been able to benefit from as part of this program have enabled me to evolve and become more mature as an entrepreneur. Even though the session is coming to an end, the lessons learned during this coaching will enable us to fly higher in business." That's beautiful, Josephine. Thank you for sharing that. We then have I can't say it, Poland, sorry, Tokozo, which she goes by Mello, who comes to us from South Africa. She is the co-founder of Taki Wash Shoe Care. So she provides shoe care services with environmental and sustainability approach. So what they do is they clean and restore shoes. They've done over 2,000 pairs of shoes monthly. They understand the science of expanding the life behind a shoe. They've worked with luxury shoe brands and have acquired the expertise to restore and repair luxury shoes also. So she's really focused on, not having shoes go into landfill, letting the longevity be extended as long as possible, and also being able to reuse our shoes for as long as possible by taking good care of them. So 2,000 shoes a month is an astronomical number in my mind. So congratulations. This is a really great feat as well. And then last but not least, we have Ismahan, who comes to us also from Somalia. She is the co-founder of Som Art Academy, which provides art supplies and art education to her local community. It's a unique place for art enthusiasts to learn and shop for art supplies, and it's a one-stop shop for artists of all levels who are looking for high-quality art materials and also for classes. She shares with us, BIC Africa has been a game changer for me. I entered with just an idea, and I've not only gained valuable knowledge, but have also developed a well-structured business plan, all thanks to the invaluable support and mentorship provided. I am excited about the journey ahead. And we are also super excited, Ismahan, to see how things continue to evolve for you in the months that come. So let's take a moment for a round of applause. You ladies have been incredible. I am so sad to see that this is coming to an end, but also so proud to see how far you've come over the last 4 months that we have been together. So round of applause for all of the ladies. I know that most of you are mute, but I will clap here for all of us. Thank you again for participating, for being vulnerable, for opening up your minds to us, for sharing your ideas, for sharing your vulnerabilities, and trusting us to help you and to support you during this time. It's really been an honor to be here with you and watch that happen. All right. We are now going to move on to the reflection part of today's session. Now, I would love for all of you to participate in this process in the chat. We're not going to take you off mute at this time just because there's a lot of us and there's a lot of questions for us to get to, but this section is going to be a little bit of qualitative questions. So, really thinking about, your responses behind them. And then we'll also have some quantitative questions where you're rating things on a scale of 1 to 5. So I'll share the information as we go along, but please take a couple moments for each question. It's a great reflection point for you to understand where you come from, where you are now, what you've taken away, what maybe you still want to work on. So please do participate as much as you possibly can by putting your responses to these coming questions into the chat. Okay, this remains a safe space, even if we have some new faces in the virtual room today. Everything here is safe and confidential. Okay. All right. So let's reflect. The first question, and before I read out this question, for every question I read out, Christina is going to put the question into the chat in French. So our French speakers, you can read it in the chat and you can also respond in French in the chat, okay? Oh, she's done it already. She's ahead of me. Okay. What is one word you would use to describe yourself as a business owner before beginning this acceleration program? What is one word that you would use to describe yourself as a business owner before beginning this acceleration program? We have unconfident, determined, imposter syndrome. We'll take that, Marlene. It's 2 words, but we'll take it. Less support, resilient. Focused. What is one word you would use to describe yourself as a business owner before beginning this acceleration program? Afraid from Pardoza. Yeah. Determined from Mercy. Beautiful. Okay, next question. What was the biggest challenge you were facing in your business? Now, again, this is before we started. What was the biggest challenge you were facing in your business when we were getting started? Cardoza shares the biggest challenge I faced is shipping services. And Nazra says not making revenue. Aiden says analysis paralysis. Yeah. What was the biggest challenge you were facing in your business? The biggest challenge is digitalization. Sandra says articulating, presenting her business on paper in terms of a business plan and business model canvas, access to the market. Yeah, some really big challenges. I remember these: cash flow from Marlene, cash flow to support export cycles. Ayan says the biggest is financial planning, and Nez says transportation costs. So there was a mix of things that were completely out of our control and things that were somewhat in our control. Some of it was mental, some of it was emotional, and other things, like I said, were completely outside of our control, like shipping and the market and you know, external factors that we have to exist with, but we don't have any control over. Ismahan says, just I have an idea. My biggest challenge was where do I start? Asna says money for the investment and access to expertise. Great. Okay, we're now going to do some numbers, right? So on a scale of 1 to 5 for the next several questions, with 1 being very low and 5 being very high. And the overall question is, how would you have rated your knowledge and confidence before BIC Africa in these areas that I'm about to talk to you about? Okay, so it's going to be on a scale of 1 to 5, and I'm going to be asking you a number of different areas. So the first is, how would you have rated your knowledge and confidence in SDGs and impact management and measurement? 1 is very low and 5 is very high. How would you have rated your confidence before we started this program? 3, 2, 4, high. Eden says 3, Okia 2. Cardosa 5, good. Okay, nice split, nice mix. Okay, Sandra says SDGs 4, impact measurement 2. Yeah, because you might be knowledgeable about what SDGs are and how to articulate them, but how to actually measure your own impact was a challenge. Understood. Okay, great. How would you have rated your knowledge and confidence in team management and partnership development before starting this program? So again, 1 is very low and 5 is very high. How would you have rated your knowledge and confidence in team management and partnership development? Lots of 3s. A 2 from Ismahan, 4, another 4, another 4. Good, okay. How would you have rated your knowledge and confidence in leadership? How did you feel as a leader before you started this program? 1 is very low and 5 very high. Cardosa says 5, nice. Abidate also a 5. Mercy also 5, nice. We have some great leaders in this group. Ismahana 4, 4, 4. Okay, good. Ayan also 4. I love it. All these 4s and 5s. This is beautiful. Okay. Yeah, we have a group of natural leaders. All right, next question. How would you have rated your knowledge and confidence in unique value proposition and marketing strategy? How would you have rated your knowledge and confidence in unique value proposition and marketing strategy? Again, 1 is very low, 5 is very high. Okay, 1.5, 3, 3, 3. Lots of threes, 4 from Ayan, 2 from Ismahan. Yeah, UVP isn't something we often think about when we're starting our businesses. We just think about our idea, but we don't necessarily think about what is it that makes our idea unique and what would bring customers to us over somebody else. So it's very fair to see a wide range of numbers that are coming through from 1.5 to 4 here. Next, how would you have rated your knowledge and confidence in business modeling? Business modeling. 1 very low, 5 very high. Five, 5, 4, 2, 3, 3, 2. Yeah. Again, just because we have an idea doesn't mean that we know how to pull all of the pieces together. So that's what this program is really here for, is to help you to understand what a business model should look like and all of the different facets that you need to consider as you're building out your businesses. So it's good to see a wide range here between 2 and 4. And perfectly normal. Next question, how would you have rated your knowledge and confidence around accounting and financial literacy? Accounting and financial literacy. 3, 4, 3, 5, 4. 2, 3, 5, 3, 3. Yeah, again, this is really normal. You know, some people are just more confident with numbers naturally. Some of us are not. As I mentioned earlier, you know, money is often more than just a number. It's also a whole host of mindsets and beliefs and sometimes even trauma that prevent us from wanting to even look at the numbers. So yeah, it's perfectly normal to see this range as well. Some of us are just naturally more confident. How would you have rated your knowledge and confidence in financial management and investment readiness before starting this program? Financial management and investment readiness. Four, 3, 3, 4, 2, 4. Great. How would you have rated your knowledge and confidence in storytelling marketing? Storytelling marketing before starting this program. Again, 1 is very low and 5 is very high. 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. 2, 2. Yeah, a lot of the times when we're starting businesses, we don't really know how to integrate our story into the message that we're talking about when we're speaking to different audiences. Sometimes we feel like whatever it is that we have to say doesn't matter, or we don't understand its importance, or we don't know how to communicate in a way that's impactful. So again, no surprises here about some numbers being low and others being a little bit higher. How would you have rated your knowledge and confidence in product development and market fit on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being very low and 5 being very high? Product development and market fit. So the process of developing your products based on consumer feedback and whether that fits in. Oh, you girls are going so quickly now. Okay, I have to keep up in the chat. 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. I just see it moving over on the side. 3, 4, 4, yeah. How would you have rated your knowledge and confidence in pitching and public speaking? Pitching and public speaking, which again is slightly different from storytelling, because this is now with a specific purpose of being in front of an audience for an ask. Aiden says 5. Yeah, 5 from Abidate. 3, 4, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 4. Good. Good. Okay, perfect. Thank you for that, ladies. We're going to continue on. So now we're going to bring you forward to today, right? And we're going to ask you the same set of questions, but we want to try to understand a little bit about how things have changed for you over these last 4 months. So now, today, how knowledgeable and confident do you feel in each of these areas? So I'm going to go through them all again, one by one. The numbers remain the same, with 1 being very low and 5 being very high. But we'd love to know now, like, how do you feel in terms of knowledge and confidence today in each of these areas? So the first one is, now how knowledgeable and confident do you feel in SDGs and impact management and measurement? SDGs and impact management and measurement. Five for Mercy, 5 Sandra, 5 Ayan, 4 Abidate.
Então, José, manda-lhe mensagem com mais detalhes no WhatsApp, se puder ver. A empresa chama-se
I had to mute Marlene there. And also, one of you has Samsung as your name. If you can change it so we know who you are, that would be great. Fardosa says 3, Aiden says 4. Okay. Next, how knowledgeable and confident do you feel with team management and partnership development? With 1 being very low, 5 being very high. Ah, you ladies are going so quickly. Okay, I can't keep up. 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, good. It's like a rapid fire over in the corner of my screen in the chat. It's great to see everyone so active. Thank you. Now, how knowledgeable and confident do you feel in leadership? On a scale of 1 to 5, how has your confidence in leadership changed over these last few months? Cardoza says 4, 5, 5, 5. Lots of 5s. Lots of 4s, also nice. Great. Lots of 5s. I love it. I mean, you ladies even shared earlier that you were confident as leaders to start with. So I'm glad that there's been incremental change to get you all, mostly all of you, to 5s, if not to a 4. Fantastic. Okay. Next, we have, how knowledgeable and confident do you feel about unique value proposition and marketing strategies on a scale of 1 to 5? Four from Sandra, 3, 4, 5, 3. Okay, so still some low numbers. That's okay. Ismahan says 4, Okia 3. How knowledgeable and confident do you feel now in business modeling? Business modeling on a scale of 1 to 5. 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4. Five from Ismahan. Now, how knowledgeable and confident do you feel in accounting and financial literacy? Accounting and financial literacy. A 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 5, 4. Again, going super fast. Now, how knowledgeable and confident do you feel in financial management and investment readiness? Financial management and investment readiness. 3, 5, 3, 5, 4, 4. Now, how knowledgeable and confident do you feel in storytelling marketing? Storytelling marketing. A few 3s, a few 4s. Now, how knowledgeable and confident do you feel in product development and market fit? Product development and market fit. 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5. Okay, and the last one like this on the scale of 1 to 5. Now, how knowledgeable and confident do you feel in pitching and public speaking? Pitching and public speaking on a scale of 1 to 5. Bunch of 5s and 4s. 4, 4, 5, 4. Four. Okay, great. I know that this format was a little bit funny of asking you on a scale of 1 to 5, but we're going to use the data of the numbers to understand a little bit more about how the program has impacted you in terms of your knowledge and confidence. So this is really useful information for Kiara to pull together, especially as we're thinking about future iterations of the program. We're now going to move on to not a scale of 1 to 5 anymore. So now again, it's like just understanding a little bit of a self-reflection. And again, share in the chat if you feel like you want to. So the next question is, have you observed any change in terms of access to networks and or key stakeholders? So have there been any changes over the past few months into the people that you have access to or the stakeholders that you're able to approach? If yes, we would love to hear from you in the chat to learn a little bit more about that. Marlene shares, my mentors helped me with network in Portugal to access some supermarkets. Awesome. Christina, can you read that one out for us?
Yes, sure. So I'm not sure who it is. It says Samsung, but it says that the mentor helped a lot with pacing and finding a solution for the challenges, and she would like to thank a lot the mentor for this.
Great.
Maybe
Yeah, I don't know.
just say who it is behind the name Samsung, please. We would like to know. Thank you.
Yeah, if you can either change your name directly in Zoom or even just put it in the chat so we know who you are, that would be great. Whoever has the Samsung SM phone. Yeah. Mercy shares, yes, my coach Maya was excellent. Now my business is listed on Europe Enterprise Network. Awesome. Ismahan shares, when I learned the empathy map, I built more network in Africa for my business, thanks to my mentor, Maria. Beautiful. Great. Thank you for sharing that, ladies. The next question, where have you seen the greatest difference in yourself or in your business? Where have you seen the greatest difference in yourself or in your business? Marlene says, I would say that I am more mature in business as I got more knowledge. Mercy says, I now know what my unique selling proposition is.
Okay, Abidate said, if I understood the known, because I'm active in my own domain, so not quite sure.
Ferdoza says, I am now an independent woman who covers all the needs of her family. Beautiful.
Okay, the person behind Samsung says that the work is more organized and that she matured as an entrepreneur.
Great. Okia says, in myself, I am more confident and have all the support. Salma shares, I have become more vocal compared to before. And I have learned that storytelling is very important when looking to enter new spaces. At every single point, get very vocal about yourself and your work, whether online or offline. Much thanks to my mentor, Eileen. That's awesome. Ismahan says, in my business now, my business is well structured. Aiden says, I have more clarity and structure now, and that's been tremendously useful in how I interact with my clients and customers. These are great results, ladies, great results. Next question, how has your business changed or grown in these past months? How has your business changed or grown in these past months? Mercy shares that there's been an increase in sales and market share, especially for her sustainable products, their sustainable bags. Marlene says, I used to have less control of financial area. I just wanted to focus on production. Now I am balancing and really seeing the figures daily. Great. Marlene shares, it's really important to know our numbers.
Okay, the lady behind something says that she has more clients now than before, and that all that she learned is now reflected in her work.
Awesome. Fardoza says, before my business was on gift packaging company, but now she offers event managing and decoration, also wedding cakes. Everything is related. Ayan says, our client base doubled through new marketing strategies and stronger financial practices, improved their cash flow. Amazing. Christina, can you translate for Abidate?
Yes, so Abidate said that thanks to the mentor, now I think her business model is finalized and ameliorated, and she envisions creating another enterprise for the commercialization of her product. And I think she said she also has numerous new clients. Thank you, Abidate.
It's great, ladies, really great. Yeah, we don't know who is behind Samsung.
We would like to.
We don't know. It's one of our French-speaking ladies. We can start a process of elimination, but we don't know. We'll find out maybe by the end. It might be Josephine, but I'm not sure. Okay. What advice or learning has really stuck with you? Maybe there was something that you heard during one of the sessions, or maybe it was one of the sessions that you had with your mentor. But what is one piece of advice or learning that has really stuck with you?
Okay, Abidate said time management.
Nice. Ismahan says financial plan and management. Marlene says the importance of following and have control of your company financial management. Yeah, money is so important, ladies. Like, one minute you can open your eyes and you find that there's nothing left if you haven't been keeping track of things. So it's much better to know your situation, even if it's an awful situation. It's much better to be fully aware of what that situation is than to be blind to it. Because when you know what it is, you can take active steps every day to make it better. Okia says storytelling and marketing strategy. Samsung woman also says time management. Mercy says delegating. Looks like she's involved in every stage of her business, which again is super common, especially as we're getting started. We may not have a lot of people working around us to support us, but the more that we can grow and delegate, the better, because it allows us to focus on our area of expertise and allows others to take some of the burden off of our plates. Fardoza says financial plan and bookkeeping, computerized accounting. Ayan says developing strong financial practices like cash flow has been most impactful per her mentor Eileen's guidance. Aiden says simplify to amplify. If something feels overwhelming, break it down into actionable parts and have the discipline to tackle it one by one. I love that. I love that. Because that's the thing, like, we put these things on our to-do list that are humongous, and then we always look at it and we say, oh, I can't do that, I don't have the time for it. But if we can break it down into smaller pieces, then that really helps us to take action sooner, because it doesn't feel or look as overwhelming as when it's this big chunky thing that's on our to-do list. That's great, Aiden. Okay. What area do you feel you still need support with? What area do you feel you still need support with? Now, I know that some of you rated yourselves still like at a 3, or some of you even a 2 for some of the areas that we covered. So maybe that's something that you still need support with, that you can still reach out to your mentor in, or maybe there's something completely that we didn't cover at all that you feel like you still need support with. What does that look like for you? What is an area that you feel you still need support with? Abhidate says elaboration on the business plan. Yeah. What I would say about business plans is that they are always evolving. So even if you have something now that you feel happy with and confident with, in a few months' time or in a year's time, you're going to notice that that business model changes a bit. And it might be because you're reacting to changes in the market environment. It might be because you've learned something along the way and you want to make adjustments. It might just be that you want to introduce a new product or service or supplier or country or something that changes up your business model. So I'm glad you shared that, Abhidate, and I just wanted to highlight that it's something that we all will continue to work on as business women. We have to continue to iterate on that. But if you do need specific support, this is for all of you, if you do need specific support still over these next couple of weeks, you have until the end of September to continue working with your mentor. So please do take advantage of that time that you have. Let me go back. Samsung Lady says in the domain of finances. Aiden says financial management also. Marlene says marketing weak point. Mercy shares e-commerce marketing. And then Okia also says marketing and networking. Marketing is tricky, right? And you know, sometimes we're fed this false belief that we can do everything ourselves, and sometimes we can't. So one of the things that I've done in my business is, even though I think that I'm good at marketing, I outsource it a lot of the times. I always have someone working on my team who's an expert in marketing, because even though I might be good enough to get things done, it's much better to give it to someone who loves doing that process, who loves marketing, who is an expert at marketing. So don't feel discouraged if you still feel like it's a weak point for you. You don't always have to plug your weak points. You can sometimes hire your weak points instead. Yeah. And as also says marketing, Ismahan and Fardoza both share about financial planning, networking. Yeah. Networking to experts. Okay. Great. Thank you for sharing these things, ladies. So as I suggested, we still have 2 weeks remaining with your mentors. So if these are topics that you can speak to them about, I definitely would recommend that you do so. And in the case where it's an ongoing thing and you can't just cover it off in 2 weeks, do consider bringing somebody into your organization that can support you in these areas. And that doesn't mean you have to hire someone full-time. You can maybe bring in a part-time employee or even a contractor who can do some things for you and support you in the areas that you're not great at. That might look like an accountant or a bookkeeper. It might look like a social media marketer or a strategist, but you can get other people that can come in and help you. Okay. And then final question for this section is, what skills would you like to still develop further? So maybe there are some things that you learned about that you would love to continue to develop. Maybe there's some things that you never even thought about before that now you have an interest in. So what skills would you still like to develop further? And as share is digital marketing and leadership. Communication from Ismahan. Abhidate says marketing, and that I'm not sure, but it might be like fundraising. Christina, did I translate correctly?
Yeah, fundraising, I'd say.
So my French is not awful.
The process for how to raise funds.
Yeah, okay. Samsung lady, product development and market fit. Yeah. Or there was a big machines printing skill. Marlene says, be an expert in financial control, budgeting, everything around finances. Ayan shares investment readiness. Ada, negotiation, product development, management, accounting, and cross-cultural communication. Interesting last one. That's a really good one. Marcy shares proposal writing. Yeah, that's something that we didn't cover actually at all during this program. But I know a lot of you do have to write proposals, especially if you're looking for funding from like grant making organizations or grant providing organizations or even governments. Great. So ladies, thank you so much for sharing your insights, for sharing your reflections about the past 4 months that we've been together. As I mentioned moments ago, this information is really useful for us, not only to see the impact that this program has had on you, but also for us to think about the future iterations and future cohorts and what pieces we need to maybe go into more detail on, or maybe we need to lessen, and how we can shape the program in the coming years. So thank you again for your super valuable input. Many of you have mentioned your mentors during the process of this reflection. So we would now love to take a moment to say a huge thank you to all of the mentors that made this year's program possible. We don't have their names listed here, but we have all of their pictures here on the screen. The women that were part of this cohort were also supported by their mentors throughout the process. And so a huge big thank you to each one of you. We would also really love to now hear from the mentors. What are some things that you experienced during your time in the BIC Africa Acceleration Program for Women Entrepreneurs? What are some things that you loved? What are some things that maybe you think could be improved on? Feel free to share your thoughts also with us in the chat now. And I know that Kiara kind of primed you that we would be asking you for some input. So we would love to hear from you. What are some things, especially for those of you who, have been here a few times already, like, what did you think about this year versus previous years? For those of you who are new as mentors, what was your experience like? Yeah, we would just love to hear what your thoughts are. So feel free to jump into the chat, or indeed, if you want to even jump off of mute, you're welcome to do that also. Agnes shares she's impressed with the breadth and ambition of the program and with the commitment and the motivation of her mentees. Thank you. Ludovica says she's very proud of all of them. Yes, we are too. We are too. Eileen shares the most remarkable thing for her is the enormous levels of increased confidence that we literally see from week to week. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Thanks, Eileen, for sharing that. Hina says that she has learned a lot from her two mentees that she's worked with. Their determination and drive is just so inspirational. Their commitment to grow and inspire others is a credit to them. Great to see how all the entrepreneurs have grown over the last 4 months. Yeah, that's beautiful. And it's such a great reminder, Hina, that you just shared with us. Like, we also learn a lot from you. We learn a lot about, what the entrepreneurial scene is looking like, what businesses you're in, new and upcoming ideas when it comes to business. And just as Hina says, like your inspiration. I still very much remember that session that we did with Eileen on storytelling, and all of you had an opportunity, or most of you, I should say, had an opportunity to share your stories, and it was just so beautiful. You are all inspirational, and you know what Fardoza shared earlier, that she's now able to cover her family's financial needs because she's increased in business, is also inspirational. So I'm so glad that you were all a part of this program. Yeah, so Ludovica shares, maybe for next year we could have some pitch sessions at 2 minutes per entrepreneur. I think that's a great idea. You know, we only had a very short time to allow 2 women to pitch last week, but yeah, we could potentially build that into next year's program where they're all able to showcase their businesses. Dora says, thank you for the program, and I feel very proud of all. Be and stay bold and brilliant. Thank you, Doris. And that actually leads me on to, oh, before I do that, let me read out Monica's. Ladies are super ambitious and eager to learn. Congratulations for all of them. Hopefully they can use this mentoring program wisely to thrive. We learned a lot as mentors, not just industry point of view. Oops, everything's going really quick now. Not just industry point of view, but thanks to the mentee, a lot of cultural aspects as well. Yes. Fardoza says, thank you. I really got a good mentor, and she taught a lot of knowledge. Thank you, my dear mentor, Hina Jossi. It's a good inspiration to us to get this opportunity. Thank you, Team BIC Africa. You're so welcome. So now that leads me on to my next question for the mentors. What is one piece of advice that you would like to leave these women with? Again, share in the chat. What is one piece of advice that you would like to leave these women with? I think as you're typing, I would like to just leave one, and that's just to keep going. Keep going, keep pushing forward. Business is hard. Entrepreneurship is hard. There's going to be moments that you want to give up. There's going to be moments that test you and make you feel like you can't keep going. In those moments, you have to remind yourself of why you started, why your business is important to you, and just keep going. You know, take some time. Maybe you want to cry for a few minutes in the bathroom, or throw some things around, or you know, go for a walk and change the scenery. But at the end of the day, you want to kind of keep going. So let me read out some of the information. Oh, it's most of you said the same thing. So Eileen says, always remember you got this far, you will go further. Exactly. Hina says, stay focused and driven. Use your network of knowledge and contact, but don't be afraid to ask for support when you need it. Monica says, trust yourself. Your knowledge and experience is half of the success. To be confident. Agnes says, your conviction and your belief in yourself is your greatest asset. Definitely. Ludovica, keep going. There's no overnight success. There is only hard work, and work on your costs and revenue in the coming months and years. Yes. Amazing. Thank you so much, mentors, once again, for not only your time, but your knowledge, your support, your expertise, your encouragement. You really make this program so important for the women to have that connection, to have someone that they can reach out to. You're seeing a lot of thank you that is coming even from the mentees in the chat, from our entrepreneurs, just to say thank you to all of you once again. Yeah, Doris also shares, talk about your business. Yes, talk about your business. Nobody knows about you unless you talk about your business. So don't remain a secret. Keep talking about your business. All right, ladies. So in the last few minutes that you have with me, before I hand over to Christina and the different countries and the commission, I want us to do a short exercise where we look forward. Of course, we are now coming to the end of our 4 months together, but that doesn't mean that your journey is finished, because as we know, once this program ends, you are still an entrepreneur, you are still going back to run a business. So now I would like to set you up with some tools so that you can figure out what that looks like over the next couple of months, okay? So what I would like you to do is to think about yourself at, I don't know why my screen's not moving, 1 second. Think about yourself on the 31st of December, 2023. So at the end of this year, I really want you to picture yourself at the end of this year. And I want you to take a moment, for your eyes only at this stage, to write down everything that you see happening and want to see happening for yourself and for your business at the end of this year. Okay, so bring your mind forward to 31st of December, 2023, and write down everything that you want to see happening for yourself and your business by the end of this year. And again, this doesn't have to go in the chat. This is just for you, self-reflection exercise for you for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to give you all a minute to do that silently before I have you move on to the next question. Now, with that picture in mind of everything you want to have happening around you, and Fardoza shared with us in the chat that at the end of this year, she'll be a woman who manages her business in a good way, managing, marketing, and planning, which is awesome. As you think of yourself in that state at the 31st of December of 2023, and you see all these things happening around you, I want you to develop 3 goals. What are your top 3 goals to achieve by the end of this year? What are your top 3 goals to achieve by the end of this year? And you might have a list of 100 things, but I want you to pick just 3. What are the 3 things that you want to focus on between now and the end of the year? I love what you're sharing. So Samsung Lady says to have many clients for her products, to develop a better plan for her business, and to acquire new machines for dehydrating the fruits and vegetables. Annette says this exercise is very exciting. For my company, I hope to have all areas working with a team of 6 people with digital marketing, working to make a lot of money. Yeah. So I love these visions. I do love these visions. So try to put them into 3 concrete goals, right? So for example, as Samsung has done, I think it's Josephine, but to have more clients for her products, that's one goal. The second one is to develop a better plan for her business. That's goal number 2. And the third is to acquire the new dehydrating machines. Fardoza says her goal is to open 2 branches in the region and to buy a motorcycle for delivery services. Great, perfect. So Inez, if you're thinking about your goals, I don't know if you have 6 people already working for you, but one of your goals might be to get 6 people on your team. The second might be to implement digital marketing, and then the third is to make a lot of money. Okay, so Ayan says to 1, increase revenue, 2, expand team, and 3, develop marketing strategies. Great. Aiden says to leverage strategic partnerships to improve operational efficiency, to pilot the business incubator program for female refugees, and to hire a new chief partnerships and impact officer. Amazing. Samsung lady says to find an investor. The second one, I don't know, something about changing her business. Christina, maybe you can help with that one. And then to place more products in other regions, to place her products in other regions. And as, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so the lady behind Samsung says to find an investor to also to increase her revenue, and to also expand to other regions, to expand her product to other regions.
Perfect. And as says digital marketing, financial control, and a team focused on the company's objectives. Ismahan says idea into the real world. The second is to be a part of Somali artists becoming well-known and raise Somali heritage material, and to build a strong network around Africa. Beautiful. I love these goals. Now let's make them happen. So what happens often is we put these big goals out there and then we don't know how we're going to achieve them. So for each of the goals that you've written down, I now want you to identify the first step. What is the first step that you need to take to be able to turn your idea into the real world, or to become a part of Somali artists becoming well known? Just identify the first step. Again, you don't have to put this in the chat. This can just be for you, but I'd like you to break it down into smaller pieces. What is the first step for each of your 3 goals? Rosa says her first step is to buy 2 motorcycles for delivery and hire 3 people. Do you already know where those motorcycles are, Fardoza? Because maybe a first step is actually finding the bikes, if you don't know already. But that's just for me to kind of challenge you a little bit. Okay, you say yes, perfect. Samsung to search for finance is her first step. So as you're also thinking about your first steps on each of those goals, I'd like you to put a date against them. When will you take that first step by? I want you to make a commitment to yourself now. So Fardoza, if your first step is to buy 2 motorcycles for delivery, when are you going to do that? Is that something that's happening tomorrow? Is it happening next month? Is it happening in November? She says January 2024, great. And it says the first step is the hardest to take for me. I must have a lot of focus and determination. Do you want to share what it is, Inez? Diane says her goals are to increase revenue by creating a targeted sales and marketing plan. And when do you want to do that, Diane, to create that sales and marketing plan? Ismahan says in August 2023, I started already to change my idea into a business. Great. So then it's about thinking about the next step that comes after that. Yeah. And then that says she will take this step now. Great. So the last thing I want you to consider when it comes to your goals for the end of this year is what support do you need to help you? Maybe it's people, maybe it's money, maybe it's other resources, but I want you to really identify what support you need to help you to take that next step. Marlene shares, I'm really focused on financial area. It took 2 months I took 2 months to reorganize it and plan for the next year. Great. So what support do you need to help you? When you're able to take your goals and break them down into smaller pieces and also to identify your first steps, that really helps you to take momentum, to get momentum, and to really go after what it is that you're trying to achieve. When you identify the support that you need to help you, it helps you to understand what might get in the way, right? Like maybe there's something that you don't know how to do, or maybe there's something that you're feeling a lack of confidence in, or maybe there's something that you just need someone to take some of the burden off of your plate. But if you can identify that support need up front, again, it helps you to actually get things done because you've identified it up front. You know what you're working with. Fardoza shares that she needs investment. Yeah. So if you need investment to get something done, then your first step is probably actually to look for investment, whether that be that you need to approach friends and family, or that you need to go to the bank and ask for a loan, or you need to take some other form of credit out, or you find an investor. If you know that you need something like finance in order to make something happen, then your first step is really looking for that finance or earning money into your business to cover that expense. Inez says, what I need right now is an angel investor and a good mentor. Yeah, and Marlene says, someone that I need to be accountable to. Yeah, someone who's going to say, hey, have you done that thing yet? And maybe that isn't a paid person. You know, if you're working with a business coach or a mentor or an advisor, you might be paying for that person's time and expertise. You can also have accountability with other entrepreneurs. Maybe there's a woman in the group that you've really built a connection with, and you two can become accountability partners where you share, this is what I'm working on right now. This is the dates that I put to myself, and this is how I'm going to get things done. I actually do that every single month with a really good business friend of mine. We used to be business partners in another venture a couple of years ago, but we have accountability sessions where we sit down and we talk about what it is that we're trying to do, and we hold each other accountable to doing it. When we don't do it, we question each other and say, hey, what happened? What got in the way? Yeah. Yeah, so for the ladies that are saying investment, I think you really need to sit down and think about, who is that investment coming from? Is it investment, or is it debt? Is it a loan? Is it a gift? Because sometimes, you know, all businesses are looking for money. So you need to really think about, how are you going to get that money in if it's not through sales alone, if you have to have someone who's supporting you. Marlene says, someone that I need to be accountable to. Yeah, Ludovica shares, and sometimes the first person we need to be accountable to is ourselves. Never negotiate with yourself. Yeah, great. Okay, ladies, perfect. Ismahan says she needs support with fundraising and networking, meeting experts and stakeholders, operating, raising culture and heritage. Yeah, so networking. So perhaps the first step there is then looking for opportunities to network. So if you know that you need support in reaching your goals, the first step can maybe be looking for that support or finding that type of support that you need. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So I am going to now hand over to Christina, but before I do, I would love for us all to take one more group photo. So can we all come, let me stop sharing the screen so that we are big. How do I stop? Oh, the big red button, stop share. It's been a while since I've driven on Zoom. Okay, we are all here. I would love us all to come onto our cameras if we're in an opportunity to do so. And once we're all here, then Kiara is going to do the snap for us. Because remember, we took one on the first day all those months ago. Oh, it's so nice.
Are you ready?
Face. Are we ready? We have 2 pages of
yeah. More and more people showing faces. Okay, not only the face, now a big smile. Okay, I start picking the first one. And I take another one. And show. Great. 3, 2, 1. Great.
Awesome.
Super.
All right, ladies, so I am going to say farewell. I'll still be here with you, but I'm now going to hand over to Christina, who's going to take us through a short session on what's beyond this acceleration program. But thank you once again from the bottom of my heart for, you know, your participation, for your enthusiasm, for your vulnerability, for your inspiration, everything that you've given to us over these past 4 months. It's been an absolute honor to be part of this journey with you, and I hope that the connections continue. So without further ado, let me hand over to Christina and yeah, go into the background.
Thanks a lot, Manny. Thank you, Danielle. So I will just take a moment to share my screen. Can you see it all? Okay, perfect. So indeed, as Danielle said, we will take a minute to look what is beyond the BIC Africa program for women entrepreneurs. So just to give you an introduction, so as you may know, BIC Africa, we are working with 5 country projects. And many of you, probably most of you, are from these countries. So what we would like to really encourage is for you to get a connection to the implementing partners, but also to the business incubator within these different projects, as their aim is really to reinforce the business incubators. So I would like to firstly invite Ebe Muschiali to present BIC Comoros Apila project today, so that we can put a face to the project. Ebe, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. And I will be very, very brief. Probably there is not even a need to project any slide, but just to first congratulate you all the entrepreneurs and the mentors and all the people from BIC Africa and from EBN that were behind the scenes, because we have been listening this morning very in the background, but you have done an extraordinary work and a lot of great results. So of course there is still small things to fine tune, but congratulations on all, because the impact that we have seen this morning is really impressive, I would say. We can then share the few slides with you.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Feel free to share the slides. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can project them on the screen, but yeah, it's not even, I would say, it's not even needed. Just to tell you that, yeah, the Apil Comoros project is a project that started in 2021, funded by the European Union. And then on the go, we partnered with EBN and with BIC Africa, because we saw the interest of collaborating also and growing together with the other countries that are part of BIC Africa. And very recently, the Comoros also officially became a member of BIC Africa, for which we are very grateful and happy. The project is a 4-year project and has 2 main components. One is a direct support to the industrialization of the country, and Christina, as you mentioned, yes, the beneficiaries of the acceleration program are also most of them, 2 out of 3 are beneficiaries also already of Apile. And in this first component, what we do is we work directly hand in hand with some identified companies to upgrade their competitiveness and support them to become more competitive and to offer services and products that are in line with the market demand. And then the second aspect is more related to the sustainability of our intervention, of the UNIDO intervention in the country, to strengthen the competencies of the entrepreneurship support organization. So slightly larger than pure incubators. We are also supporting some NGOs, some government institutions to provide adequate services to the companies, so that the entrepreneurship environment can be more suitable for the companies to thrive. So I will not get into the details of how we do this in the two main components, but what I can say here, and what the way I can reassure the Apile beneficiaries, is that we are also working day by day, and Asna knows this, Komor Moringa knows this, on accompanying them on their concrete business plan implementation. It was mentioned before me, accountability, the fact that we stick to the ambitions we have, that we put in place the activities that we forecasted, is very important. And we are there to facilitate this. So we are currently accompanying the companies we support to develop their business strategy, to strengthen their capacities in especially in the quality field, so in complying to the national and international market requirements. And we are working also on something that was very detailed in the acceleration program, the branding and marketing, and how do you sell better, how do you promote better your products, both online and offline. So we are there, we are available to these two companies and to many more companies in Comoros, to really support them to grow in a sustainable way. One aspect that we will also be touching more and more, and that is something that was also raised in the question asked on what's next, finding funds and mobilizing resources, how to make sure that your project is bankable, how do you make sure that you reach out to these business angels and to less traditional financial schemes, and how do you reach out to more innovative ways of sustaining financially your ideas and your ambitions to grow. So we will be also working more and more on these aspects. And then, yes, congratulations to all of you again, and to BIC Africa, especially for involving us as UNIDO team, as Apile project, to be part of this big network of incubators and entrepreneurship support organizations, because we really believe that by exchanging with our peers, we can grow, and we can grow probably faster and in a more sustainable way. So thanks to all, and again, congratulations to all of you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much, Ebe, for this great overview of the Apile project. And so I will share my screen again. Yes, so we had an overview on Apile, and so regarding the other 4 country projects, here we made a slide with some information and contact details on how you can get in touch with the various projects, so that then they can put you in contact with the respective business incubators within the country. So for BIC Ethiopia and BIC Somali, you can see the email addresses in this slide. BIC Ethiopia is led by Sekwa, and you can contact Oliver Petzold and Theo Besta, who are managing the project, if you would like to get in touch with the business incubators. For BIC Somali, please contact Jamila Mohamed Hassan. You can see her email in the slide as well. For Angola and Madagascar, we ask you to please actually contact us. We will put you in touch with the right person, depending also on your sector and other aspects. But please don't hesitate to reach out to us, and then we will try to contact you. And of course, we will share these slides after the session, so you will have all the website addresses, the links to the social media channels, so you can have all the information afterwards. And now, so I would like to invite some EC initiatives for African entrepreneurs to also be presented. So first of all, there is the Team Europe initiative, investing in young businesses in Africa. And I would like to invite Alex Walford, the policy officer from DJ INFA, to say a few words about this initiative.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for all the inspiration that you've given us these last couple of hours. It's been great to hear from you all. And my name is Alex Walford, and together with my colleague Miguel Campo-Llopis, who's also on the call today, we're responsible for coordinating the Team Europe initiative, investing in young businesses in Africa. And if you'll allow me, I'd just like to take a couple of minutes to tell you a bit about the initiative and how we're putting it into practice. So firstly, what is it? Well, when the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen announced it in May 2021, she said that it was about helping young businesses and entrepreneurs across Africa to launch and grow sustainable, strong, and inclusive businesses. And in so doing, to create decent jobs. And that's a big part of the reason behind the initiative, is that the high rate of population growth in Africa isn't being matched by the rate of job creation. And in particular, the rate of job creation amongst young and early stage businesses. So if it's okay, I'm going to, I think, has somebody on the EBN got the slides that we sent across? And if so, would you mind sharing the first slide, please?
Chiara, you will share the slides? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can you see them now?
Yeah, they need to be on
presentation
project mode.
I'm changing now.
Thank you, Miguel. So, as I was saying, the initiative is about supporting early stage businesses and entrepreneurs across Africa, and it does so based on 3 pillars. The first 2 are about extending financial and technical support to early stage businesses and entrepreneurs. And pillar 1 is about targeting very early stage businesses in particular that are looking for seed and pre-seed financing. Pillar 2 is about providing access to finance for slightly later stage, but still early stage businesses looking for seed, Series A or Series B financing. And pillar 3 is about strengthening the organizations that are supporting the likes of yourselves, entrepreneurs and young businesses across Africa. There's a specific program that the initiative has launched, which my colleague Christian Grivari will talk about straight after me. That's called IYBA Seed. So a 3-stage initiative that's targeting young people and women in particular, who, as you know only too well, face specific challenges that are in addition to those which your male counterparts face. So a very laser focus on young people and women. Next, a word on how we're putting the initiative into practice. And there are three main ways in which we're doing that. The first is through a couple of governance bodies that we've set up to drive implementation forward, a policy steering group and a management team. And basically these bring together 10 European member states, EU member states, plus the European Investment Bank, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and the Association for European Development Finance Institutions, as well as VC4A, which is an entrepreneurship network, and the African Development Bank. And these two bodies together steer what we're doing under the initiative. The second way in which we're implementing the initiative is through convening three working groups. One is looking at the kinds of challenges that you're facing as you seek to launch and grow your businesses in Africa. So it's called Women's Economic Empowerment, and to devise solutions to some of those challenges. The second is about the challenges that are faced when trying to develop a pipeline of projects that European development finance institutions in particular can then go on to invest in, and trying to identify solutions to overcome those challenges. And the third working group is about delivering this IYBA seed program, which Christian will talk about in a second. The third way in which we're implementing the initiative is by launching it in specific countries. And we've already done that in Senegal, Nigeria, Togo, Kenya, and Comoros. And we're going to launch it in the coming months in Benin, Cameroon, and South Africa. In addition, we've also mapped all the projects and programs which fall under the IYBA, which is an initiative and not a project or a program in itself. And these projects and programs we reckon amount to around 4.7 billion euros. So finally, a quick word on the programs that we've created specifically to support the likes of yourselves under the initiative. My colleagues Christian and Joanna Kahiluoto will talk about IYBA Seed and another program called IYBA We4A, which is targeting women entrepreneurs in particular. And then there's a third program called IYBA Invest, which is what's called a blended finance program, and that is also designed to support early stage businesses. And we're working in close partnership with Investisseurs et Partenaires, who are a French-based impact investment group. So with that, I will stop now and I'll pass the floor to Christian, who will tell you a bit about IYBA Seed. Christian.
Thank you, Alex. I hope you can hear me well. Sometimes there's a connection issue. Perfect. So yes, IYBA Seed is one of these programs falling under the IYBA initiative, which is probably the most advanced at the moment. Again, looking in what Alex explained, looking into the third pillar, really in the supporting of the ecosystem of what is the ecosystem for an entrepreneur, and especially a woman and young entrepreneur. So really, the program is expected to last 4 years, and it's about 23 million euros, with the EU, Germany, France, and Slovakia contributing as well. And it will be really present in Benin, Kenya, Senegal, South Africa, and Togo, where we are looking to do regional activities, but also activities focusing in these 5 countries. Next slide, please. So what is the program in essence? What we're looking to do is have a holistic view of the ecosystem. And when we mean ecosystem, it's not only the accelerators and incubators, which also they're part of the ecosystem, a big part, but the financial actors, public policies that could be present in these countries, and other actors such as TVET and education centers that are looking to work with entrepreneurs, especially women entrepreneurs, and try to support them into actually better target the needs of the entrepreneurs themselves, basically by supporting the ecosystem. So the program is really intended to support with technical assistance and even the connection between different players that maybe they're not working together so well in the country. So it's a program that will not work directly with the entrepreneur themselves, but it will, of course, work with the ecosystem that you will get to see in these countries. To do this, of course, we need a long-term approach. So the program is envisioned to last the first part that I mentioned 4 years, but then again, we're looking to support the same countries or even more for another period of time to actually have a long-term approach to be able to change the ecosystem and add value, which of course it takes a long time to do. And this is important to mention. Then of course, every ecosystem is different. So we are doing at the moment, at the stage that we are, is doing deep dives into the 5 different countries to identify potential actions that we will be doing over the next years, starting from next year, the different activities. So this is the stage of the program at the moment, which is a deep dive diagnosis in the countries being carried out by the teams, which are in place at the moment too. That took a long time to do, but now we have people on the ground. A part of the program is, of course, the international exchange. So we will have allocated some budget too for regional activities touching the different 5 countries, and peer learning exercise also with the different key stakeholders between the countries. Next slide. So yes, just to emphasize again, so the ecosystem that we're looking is a wide ecosystem. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's not only the incubators, accelerators, it's really every key stakeholder that is looking to support entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs, of course, may rely sometimes on angel investors, so it's also an area that we're looking to emphasize in the program. And as I mentioned, so the beneficiaries at the end, for working for the ecosystem, is support really the early stage entrepreneurs, the seed and the pre-seed, especially led by women, and also young entrepreneurs. With the measure of success is that these seed beneficiaries, or the women entrepreneurs, are able to continue growing and accessing financial and non-financial resources to continue growing their enterprise across the life, of the program. So we had to add value into this journey. So I think from our BIC that is it. So I give the floor back to the next colleague.
Yes, great. And thank you for inviting us. I'm Yona Kahlet. I'm also from DG INTPA, and just to say, it was great to participate here and to hear a bit the issues that you've been working with, the kind of struggles that you've faced, and the tools that the program has been able to give you. I'm saying this because we have been running a program quite similar to yours, with some differences, but working on exactly the same issues that came out today. This is the program Women Entrepreneurship for Africa. It's a 20 million program that we have been running for the past year together with Germany, working with 3 components. First of them being an entrepreneurship training together with the Tony Elumelu Foundation that you might be familiar with. They are working across Africa on supporting business skills and seed financing for entrepreneurs. And with our B4A program, we were able to finance 2,420 women entrepreneurs to join the Tony Elumelu Foundation program and to get access to the $5,000 US seed financing after the program. This was followed up with the component 2 of the program, which is working more on the local skills for certain countries to help the women who participate in the TEF program to get more support on the specific issues that they faced and the actors that they were facing, as Christian was saying, the local ecosystem of the entrepreneurs in their countries, as well as linking them also with opportunities with the local private sector, and supporting this creation of the positive ecosystem for them to succeed in their countries. And then finally, we had a third component, which was focused on one of the issues that came in the discussions today as well, on the access to finance, which is one of the key issues that comes out. And we were tackling this with also working with first an acceleration program, and then finally also a growth program for the growth stage entrepreneurs. And this was combined with access to further second stage financing on the basis of the financing need of the entrepreneurs. And if you look at the next slide, I come to the point why this might be interesting to you, and also a bit looking at the next steps with the program. So as I mentioned, we ran a pilot for the past 3 years with a lot of learnings, good things that work and things that we know that we can do better in the next round, but we are working to create the next stage of the program, We4A. And this is something that we are planning to launch in 2024. So we are working hard on the design, which is why it was also interesting to hear your experiences from the BIC program that we can also take as learnings for the design. And why I'm mentioning this to you is that there might be few interesting entry points for some of you. As I mentioned, we work together with the Tony Elumelu Foundation with the entrepreneurship training that they are providing, and this is going to be the first entry point also in the new program. So we are looking into financing again around 1,800 women entrepreneurs through the Tony Elumelu Foundation program. We are hoping to have 2 cohorts, one in 2024 and another one in 2025. So this might be something interesting for some of you to have a look, as that this will be let's say the first entry point to the program. So applying to the open applications of the Tony Elumelu Foundation program next year and 2025. Secondly, one of the learnings of the program, and I think some of the discussions today also lean to that direction, was the fact of accessing to the relevant information, investment opportunities, as well as connecting and networking with other women entrepreneurs. So we are working on creating this kind of a platform with a Women Entrepreneurship for Africa program, for the women entrepreneurs who will come into the program through the TEF program, but also to the wider group of women entrepreneurs. So this, I would keep, I want to suggest you to keep eyes open to participate in any relevant events that we will be organizing, both online and in person in countries across Africa. And finally, coming back to the point on access to finance, that's something that we also learned and we heard also today. This is always one of the struggling points. So that's going to be one of the focus areas of the new program as well. So we want to strengthen the connections to access to finance through the platform and through the Tony Elumelu Foundation program. So that will be the third component also in this edition of the We4A, with also some additional stronger financing from the EU to help the women entrepreneurs to get the connections to the investors and to have the route also further stage financing following the initial financing provided by the program. So hoping that this is interesting for some of you, and maybe we will see in some of the We4A activities in the coming years. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Alex, Christian, and Joanna, for being with us today and for presenting IYBA and the opportunities. I think it's very, very useful. So thanks again. Okay, so now we will get to the last part of our session today. So just to finish, we would like to also announce our event taking place in Kenya this year. So we will be holding the BIC Africa annual gathering which is an event with over 100 stakeholders, including the implementing partners of the country project, also the EU delegation, various business incubation experts and business incubators from Nairobi and also from the country project. So basically, if you happen to be in Nairobi, Kenya, during this time, which is the Thursday, 26th of October, we would like to invite you to join us during this event. So you can see the information on the slide on how to register. This is through Eventbrite, and we have a specific password. And again, if you happen to be in Nairobi, Kenya during this time, we would be very, very happy if you could join us. So finally, we are really hoping to stay in touch with you. So here are the links again to our LinkedIn group for female entrepreneurs for the various cohorts. We also have our WhatsApp group, and of course you have our emails, and in these slides you will also find the emails of yes, the other stakeholders who presented today. Chiara, Danielle, of course, if you would like to share some final words, please go ahead.
Yes, so couple of words because we are running late. So first of all, I just did the exercise proposed by Danielle. So my goal for the end of this year is to learn how to save screenshots on my laptop. So the very first step is to take a new picture of the group. Thank you. And the support I need is you turning on your cameras again and making a big smile. Sorry, I'm very bad with technologies. All good, and then I didn't save anything. So let's try it again and remind me to save now. Okay, so smile. Good.
Wait,
And
1 minute.
Yes. Are we all? Okay, Sandra, eccola. I see Sandra coming. Fardosa, do you manage to come on screen? I mean, to turn on your camera?
I think she's coming. Give her a second.
Here she is. Super. Allora, I try again. Can someone else take a picture with the mobile just to be sure? So bad. So bad. Okay, and okay, smile. Great. This time I'm confident I have it. I save it. Good one. Bye. Again, thank you very much. So just a couple of words to say thank you, of course, to the European Union that is funding this program. We all learned that without money, we can't do many things we would love to. So this is very important to acknowledge and remember. And of course, thanks to the country projects that anyway gave us some feedback, especially in the preparatory phase. I exchanged a lot to see how to design it in a way that was this program could complement what they were already doing in the different countries. I would also thank Christina, my colleague, who joined us during the journey, and it was great ad. So I'm very happy to work with you, Cri, on this program. And of course, a huge thanks go to Danielle, because we have been working hand in hand all these months, and we have been shaping this together. And I learned a lot behind the scene. We have been exchanging a lot on how to make the most of this little time together. And we hope we achieved a little, at least parts of our goals. Of course, I would thank DB and mentors. Ladies, it's great to work with you and to have you with us delivering this program. And indeed, I usually work with intermediaries and never with women or the entrepreneurs. And so for me, it's been very important to have you by my side and of course, by the side of the girls and the ladies, because this was to me probably the highest value we could bring to them. So thank you very much to one and all. And of course, my last thank you goes to the ladies, to the 20 women that made this program such a beautiful experience, at least for myself. And I think also for what I heard today, for many of you. I remember the very first session with Anna, we were speaking about SDGs and how statistics say that we are a bit stuck in achieving the goals. But probably statistics don't take into account the work you are doing, girls, because really what I have been observing silently over these last 4 months is the way you are achieving your business goals. But this is not just about economic impact you are having in your families, in your communities, but also the social impact. It has been beautiful to see how do you take care, of course, of your finances, of your teams, but above all, of your communities. And this is probably why I like and I love working with women and for women, because probably is something that makes us a little bit different from other entrepreneurs. So thank you very much. We'll be in touch, of course, by email. I'll keep being your little nightmare for a while. Our WhatsApp group stays alive, so we keep sharing there our information. And as Christina just shared, we have the LinkedIn group for the women that participated in all the cohorts of the BIC Africa Acceleration Program. So we share relevant information there. And of course, you have our contact details. So this is not the end, it's just another step in our individual journeys. And so wish you all the best for your lives and your businesses, of course.